2010 is almost over, ladies and gentlemen. Cover Killer Nation. I am, of course, Cover Killer. And we're very, very close to me having to decide my top 20, or maybe this year, top 25 list of all the best albums of this particular year. However, there's just one more that I want to talk about. One that was just released, and it just might make a factor. You never know. Now, the band that I'm talking about is Setherial. And their 2010 album, EKPYROSIS, is actually a pretty awesome late of the year release, which makes sense considering they're on the same label and distribution service as Marduk. Which means that if there's anybody in the black metal game that's really going to be keeping a close eye, well, you at least have the eye of one of the most respected names in the particular genre. And this is something where Setherial wouldn't really need the guidance. Setherial is a band that's got age behind it as well. In fact, 1999 has one of their landmark albums being released, which was entitled Hell Eternal. Something that maybe a lot of people didn't realize. In fact, I was one of them for quite a while. I definitely believe that this was only about their second or third record, but upon further research, I'm an idiot. Yeah. However, this is a release that I'm going to have to go by something that I'm going to coin right now. And this is a release that's sort of a part-time pleaser. Now, the reason why I even was interested in this particular release and to see just how powerful it was going to be and to see if it would shake up the 2010 Album of the Year race was because I heard some samples. We actually got the CD in at work, and I'm definitely still considering picking it up. However, here is the problem. Every one of the tracks, all 8 of them, the sound samplings for them are smashing. They're awesome, and I liked each and every one of them. So I had to sample this album for myself. However, whenever I did this, I didn't find too much that I liked outside of that. It's not so much that these songs are bad, because they're really not. In fact, if I were to give this CD a rating prior to saying a word about it, I'd probably give it about a 7.5 to a 7.75 out of 10. This isn't necessarily a poor release. It's just not something that really drops your jaw. This is your pretty standard black metal. And while they do add a couple of their own signatures to this particular idea, it's something that's rather tried and true. In fact, I had a friend of mine ask me, well, how can you tell whenever there's a good black metal album, considering it all seems to sound the same? And I replied to him, trust me, man, you just know. This is one of those albums where it's good, but that's all it probably will ever be. It's definitely very well polished. It's something that you see in a lot of the newer black metal bands. Something that you see in Marduk in their latter 2 albums with ROM 5-12 and Wormwood. And, like I said, once again, same label. So they're able to get that clean production value, which is something that some people like, but other fans really are not all too into. Musically, it's very good, and stylistically, it does have a couple of variations where it'll get a little bit slower, either that or they'll add something to the traditional black metal flavor in order to spruce it up a little bit. That all said, the one other final thing that I'll say, and this is really kind of silly, but whenever I hear some of the tracks off of this particular release, I think of the band Equilibrium. They're not really all that alike, but I think of them. But anyways, to sum the whole thing up, this is one of those records that whenever you take it home and you're excited to, get it out and listen to it, you'll have yourself a good time. It's something where you will enjoy the experience, but I'm not sure that you'll leave completely satisfied as you would with perhaps, Hell Eternal or something like that, or even Death Triumphant, their album that came before this from 2006. This one's going to come down to a matter of taste. If this is something that you really like, then you're going to enjoy this album. It's not like Setherial has particularly strayed from their formula. It's just that maybe some of the other stuff is a little bit more imaginative. Find out for yourself. This is a 2010 release. I am Cover Killer Nation. I am on Facebook and on Twitter. Stay tuned, because very soon, we have to revisit some old ideas. Not to mention, a whole entire fucking year in music.